Namaste, welcome to Yoga and You. I'm Rasika Sampath. Welcome to upper body release. Do you have issues with sitting behind a desk all day long if you have a desk job? Do you drive a lot, or are you driven around a lot? Do you travel a lot, whether in the flight or in the car? Do you have a newborn baby? Do you lift weights? Do you in general have a bad posture, which in turn causes some lower back issues or any sort of spine back pain? In all these cases, if you suffer from any one or all of the above, then this practice will definitely help you release some of the important joints and muscles in the upper body. Okay, so in today's practice we will be working on the spine, we will work on the shoulders, the neck area. We'll work on the entire spine, right? So from the cervical spine to the thoracic spine to the lumbar spine. We'll also work on releasing and opening up into the front of our upper body, namely the chest and the abdominal muscles. Okay, so hopefully by the end of today's class you will feel a little more relaxed. At the upper body you'll feel a little lighter. Okay, so we'll start our practice today sitting down. So a lot of times what happens is that when you sit down and you have this upper body stiffness or you have lower back issues, you find it difficult to sit on the floor. So in which case I would advise you to place a cushion underneath your seat and sit on that. Okay, so you feel a little more comfortable and you're able to sit upright. For today's practice also you will need a bolster. If you don't have a bolster, you can use a firm pillow, and you'll also need a chair or a couch or a bed, anything which is like shoulders height. Let's get started in Sukhasana or any comfortable seated position of your choice. I'm going to sit in Sukhasana, just crossing at the shins. What happens when you have upper body stiffness a lot of times is also that you notice that your breath is shallow. Okay, so we're going to spend some time here in Sukhasana or any seated position just observing our breath. So as you sit up tall with your spine as straight as you can, rooting down through the sitting bones, shooting up through the crown of your head, hands comfortably rested on your lap. You may close your eyes if you want to and just observe the breath. Notice how your breath is right now. You don't have to do anything with your breath, you don't have to manipulate it, make it longer or make it smoother, anything, nothing. You just have to observe it for what it is right now, without giving it any labels. There's no good, bad, right or wrong, just observing how it is at this moment, without judgment. And then remember how your breath is right now, and then we'll compare it at the end of the practice and see if you feel any shift in the way you breathe. Gently, you may open your eyes, and we'll start with a few rounds of cat and cow, seated cat and cow. So you can continue to sit in Sukhasana. Place your hands on your knees, and we'll start with inhale, arch your back, look up, lifting the chest. Exhale, push the knees away from you, rounding the spine, pull the chin towards your chest. Inhale and arch. Exhale and round, articulating the spine. Keep going at your own pace for a few more rounds, moving with the breath. Our spine is like the main highway for the central nervous system, which is why also you tend to feel a lot of tension, a lot of aches and pains around the spine. So we're just working on warming up into the spine here. Move with the breath, keep going. 2 more rounds. Inhale. Exhale. Good. Come back to center. Now we'll work on the neck a little bit. Okay, so we'll start with some neck rolls. So we'll take it clockwise first. So you can look up and then roll the neck out clockwise and then go counterclockwise and then look to the center. Now take your left hand out to the left side, take your right hand up and cover your left ear. You can just touch your left ear with your right fingers, and on the exhale drop the right ear to the right shoulder, feeling the stretch on the left side of the neck. Breathe into it. 3, 2, 1. Slowly release. Take your right hand out to the right side, left hand up and over towards the right ear. Exhale to drop the left ear to the left shoulder, feeling this on the right side of the neck. Stay here for 3, 2, keep your jaw soft, 1, and release. Bring your hands back. Take your hands behind your head now, interlock your fingers behind the head. Inhale to puff up the chest. As you exhale, keeping the chest lifted, you want to bring the chin down towards your chest. As you bring the elbows closer together, draw the shoulder blades down your back. You'll feel a nice stretch along the back of your neck and also along the muscles that surround your shoulder blades, your trapezius and rhomboids. Very important muscles to help you sit upright. 2 and 1. Gently release your hands. Notice how you feel around the neck. You can just shake it out and see. Okay, now we'll move into a side stretch. You can take your right hand out to the right side. You can bring either your fingertips down, or if you're a little more comfortable, bring the palm down. Take your left hand up and gently guide it over your ear, bringing your bicep by the side of the ear. Look up at the ceiling, and if you can take it deep enough, try to bring your right forearm down to the mat, but don't force it. If that is making your left hip lift up, then keep rooting down through the left hip and stay elevated, no problem. If you're able to root down through the left hip, then you can bring your forearm down and stretch up, keeping the left elbow straight. So one long line of energy from your left fingertips to your left waist. Stay here for another 5. Breathe into the left side body. 4. Notice where the sensation is. Keep the chest lifted. 2 and 1. Beautiful. Inhale and slowly come back up and switch sides. Take your left hand out to the left side, either fingertips or palm, and then slowly taking your right hand up and over your ear. Whatever you did on the other side, do the same here as well. Rooting down through the right sitting bone, creating one long line of energy from your right fingertips to your right waist. 4, 3, where do you feel the energy stuck? Where do you feel the tension? 2, breathe into it. And 1. Good. Slowly inhale, come back up. Now we'll work into the intercostal muscles a little bit. So the intercostal muscles are in between your ribs. Okay, so again that helps you breathe better when it's open. So for this, we'll first take a twist. Inhale, take both your hands up. Exhale and bring the left hand to the right knee and the right hand back behind you. Look over your right shoulder. Draw the navel in so you're able to twist a little deeper. And now once you're comfortable here and you're able to breathe well, you can lift the right hand up and over your ear. Keep looking towards the right side. You'll feel this in the intercostal muscles on the right side. Breathe here for 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Inhale, come back up. Lift both your hands up again. back to center, and exhale, twist other way around. So take your right hand to the left knee, left hand behind you. Keep the spine upright and look over your left shoulder. Stay here for a couple of breaths. Notice your breath. Notice the ease with which you're able to hold this twist. Once you're stable here, you can lift that left hand up and over your ear. Staying here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Inhale, come back to center. Straighten your body and lift your hands up. Exhale and release both your hands down. Lovely. Now let's come into tabletop position. We're going to move into the shoulders now. Okay. So from your tabletop, make sure your wrists are under your shoulders, knees under your hips. We're going to work on the back of the shoulder here, the posterior deltoid muscles. So for this, inhale, lift your right hand up towards the sky. Exhale and threading the needle, loop the right hand through the left, drop the right side of your head down, lift your left hand up. Exhale, bring the left palm down, press down through the left hand and lift the right hand back up. We're going to do this a couple more times. Exhale, again, thread the needle. Bring the right side of your head down, inhale and lift the left hand up. So you'll feel a little twist as well in the spine. Exhale, bring the left hand down, press down and inhale, lift the right hand back up. One last time. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring the right side of the head down, lift the left hand up and we'll stay here for 5. 4, you can even take a half bind by reaching for the right inner thigh. 3, 2, and 1. Bring that left palm back down under your shoulder, press down into it. Inhale and lift the right hand one last time up and exhale, bring it down, back into tabletop. Let's switch sides, same thing on the other side. Inhale, lift the left hand up towards the sky, gaze up at your palms. Exhale and threading the needle. Inhale, lift the right hand up. Exhale, bring the right hand down, press down. Inhale, lift the left hand back up. Exhale, thread the needle. Bring the left side of the head down and the back of your left shoulder down. Inhale, lift the right hand up. Exhale, right hand down, push down. Inhale, lift the left hand up. Last one, we'll hold it this time. Exhale, thread the needle, drop the left side of the head down and gaze up as your right palm lifts up, right hand lifts up, and we'll stay here for 5. You can take the half bind if you did on the other side and reach for your left inner thigh. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift that right hand up, bring it down, press down into your hand, lift that left hand back up one last time and exhale, come back into tabletop. And I want you to just sit back on your heels. We noticed our breath in the beginning of the class. I want you to notice again right about the middle of the class before we move on with the postures. And just noting that you want to bring awareness to breathing through your belly. Okay? So you want to be able to relax the belly when it's not required to be contracted. And you want to breathe into the belly. Infants and babies always breathe through their bellies. But unfortunately, as we grow up, we tend to use the more supplementary muscles to breathe. And we start to breathe predominantly through the chest. Okay? So therefore, for a lot of you, if you're asked to take a deep breath, your shoulders would shrug up. If you notice that that is you, then in all probability your breath is very shallow, it is at the chest. So you want to drive that breath down towards the belly, okay, and become comfortable with the idea of releasing the belly. We tend to tighten and contract the belly a lot. So just staying there and noticing the breath. And we'll take just one more breath there. And we'll move on with our practice, okay? From Vajrasana, let's come back into tabletop position and slowly move into downward dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Tuck your toes, lift the hips up and push the hips back. Send the sitting bones up towards the sky. You can put a bend in the knees if you want to. Otherwise, you can try to straighten the knees and drive the heels down, whatever you're comfortable with. Pushing through the mat. Stay here for 3, 2, 1. You want to actually keep a bend in your knees in downward dog because we're focusing more on the upper body. So you want to lengthen the sides of the body. And you don't want your hamstring to restrict you from doing that. Okay, good. Now look forward and we'll begin to take baby steps to the front of your mat until your feet are by the side of your hands. Okay. Inhale, lengthen your spine so you can bring your hands to your shins and take a flat back position. And on the exhale, keep a slight bend in the knees as you fold over your thighs. You can bring your hands all the way down, or if you're more comfortable, you can take a ragdoll position holding on to opposite elbows. Now, I want you to keep that bend in your knees because we're working more on the spine rather than on the hamstrings. Okay, so let the focus shift to the spine. Focus on lengthening from the waist up all the way to the crown of your head. And stay here for another 3. Breathe. 2 and 1. Good. Release your hands down. So you want to bend your knees nicely and very slowly, taking your time, roll your spine up one vertebra at a time. So visualizing that you're stacking one vertebra over the other. As you take your own sweet time to roll the spine, feel the upper body being loose and limp. Slowly making your way up. Your head comes up last. Roll the shoulders back and down and land in Tadasana. Just notice how you feel in your upper body. We'll continue to work a little more into the shoulders. Now for this next posture, we will need a chair. I'm going to use a chair. If you have a couch or a bed around, you can also use that. Okay, just make sure that it doesn't have too much cushion and doesn't go down too much. So something a little more stable will be preferable. Okay, so I'm going to keep my hands on the chair. Take your knees back so the knees are right below your hips. And then from here, we're going to drop the chest and the chin down. You can even hold on to the outer edges of the chair like I have. Drop the chest down in between the chair and the knees. Okay, try to go as much as possible. Keep breathing into the spine. Keep breathing into the upper back and the mid back. Notice the sensations around your shoulders. This is such a great shoulder stretch. Stay here for another 3. Try to make your breath really nice and slow. 2. Focus on the exhales. Feel the heat in your shoulders. And 1. Beautiful. Slowly press down through your hands. Lift the spine up, and then you can bring your hands down and gently sit back on your heels. You'll notice this blood rush in your shoulders, that heat. It's purifying heat, it's healing heat. So just stay with it and allow it to settle. Keep a bolster handy with you for the final Shavasana. And then you can lie down on your belly. We're going to work on the front of the shoulders and the pecs, okay, the anterior deltoids. So lie down on your belly, extend your right hand out to the right side, shoulders height, in line with the shoulders rather. Press down through the left hand, bend your left knee and roll over towards the right side of your body, planting the left foot behind the right leg. You can release the head down. If it's too much on the neck, you can add a little cushion under your head. You can stay here. If you'd like to add a little bit more, you can take your left hand behind into a half bind, taking it behind your lower back. If you want a little bit more, you can bring the soles of your feet together into like a butterfly sort of a shape. Stay here for another 4. Breathe into the front of your right shoulder. 3, 2, 1. Very gently release the legs first. Bring that left hand back in front of your face and then roll over towards your belly again. Lovely. You want to stay here for just a moment to sort of allow the blood flow to return to the right shoulder. And when you're ready, let's switch sides. Extend the left hand out to the left side, bend the right knee, roll over towards the left side of the body and plant your right foot behind the left leg. You can take any variation that you did on the other side. You can come into this butterfly-like position. You can take a half bind or maybe even a full bind if your shoulders are super flexible. 3, 2, and 1. Lovely. Extend your legs. Bring your right hand forward and gently roll onto your belly again. Again, stay there for a moment. Allow the blood flow to return. And then when you're ready, slowly just press yourself up to set yourself up for Shavasana, for a nice yummy heart-opening Shavasana. You can place your bolster like so, vertically. Or if you're using a pillow, same thing. You can use a firm pillow butt, okay, nothing which is too soft. Make sure it's a little firm and place it like this. Sit right in front of the bolster and release your back such that your spine and your head are supported by the bolster. Release your legs and open your arms out wide. Let the shoulders fall down on either side of your bolster and relax here in Shavasana. While here in Shavasana, you can notice your breath and notice also that if there are any shifts in the way you breathe from when you started practice to now. Stay here for as long as you'd like to. Thank you so much for joining me in today's practice. I hope you felt some relief in your upper body stiffness, aches and pains after practicing today's class. I'll see you in another episode on Yoga and You. Thank you.